So welcome to Hall School. The library, for instance, in the building, it's a trailer. Those trailers were put in throughout the school district. They were put in for additional space. They should have been put in for 5 to 7 years. Some of them have been here 25, 30 years at this point. In Hall School, the library is housed in the trailer, and the trailer is in terrible shape. At times, we've had to take panels down, rebuild walls. At this point, we're just keeping it together best we can. So as you can tell, as we walk through, some of the major issues we have is that the building's non-ADA compliant, like, the other schools that we're trying to close, but also, as you can tell, the vintage of the building and the fire codes at the time didn't call for all of these things to be, behind walls or in closets. So as you can see, most of the utility is right out in the hallway. Another challenge for the school is that both bathrooms are on the ground floor, which we are in now. And we have 2 floors above. So the students have to literally come down to utilize the restrooms. The utilities for the custodians to do their daily work is in the hallways because there isn't any closets in the building. And as we take a walk, I'll take you into the boiler room so you can see. The other day we were here and we repaired a steam pipe leak. So underneath these boards are the steam pipes for the heating system. And this right here in front of the girls' room, the pipe burst right at that vertical pipe there. So we did the repair. Thank God it was a half day of school. Our guys were able to get in, do the repair in order to make sure that the students were able to come to school the next day. But these are the daily challenges that we deal with. Having to repair things that are really difficult to repair. If you can imagine, having to cut pipe, and as you start to cut the pipe, you have to look to see, is this the only breach in this pipe? And then that small repair turns into the big repair and so on and so forth. But that's the vintage of the building that we have. So as we walk through, we'll go into the boiler room just so you can get a sense. Now this is a steam boiler system. There is no forced ventilation in the building. So, the way that you regulate steam boilers, unfortunately, is by opening the windows in the winter. There's no way for us to have a way of controlling the amount of heat that's coming through the building. As you can see, antiquated heating plant. Nowadays, we're utilizing can boilers, new technology, technology that's efficient in operation. There's a savings attached to that kind of technology. But here we are. We have sections that are rotting away. As you can see, we've replaced sections. And now the challenge for us with this vintage is that now, in some instances, we have to have parts fabricated because they're not on the shelf. These are not short lead items. These are things that may take several weeks for us to get our hands on in order to do the repair. And as you can see, the stuff is great. And what I can say is that the life that we've gotten out of these boilers is tremendous. But at the end of the day, we're talking about antiquated systems. And as you can tell by the infrastructure, you have pipes that are rusting, throughout the facility. So you're going to have failures. We know we're going to have failures. We have leaks because this boiler here has a section that's cracked. So now the only method that we have to do a repair is through welding. These challenges just compound over and over. And, what we want to do is we want to be able to get ahead in things. We want to be able to take the dollars that are given to us, those tax dollars, and put them to work for the students, right? We want to do outdoor classrooms, new playgrounds. We want to make sure that, we're dialing in the heating systems in our newer buildings so the students have the comfort they deserve. But yet we have these old buildings that we're trying to limp along that are taking up an exorbitant amount of resources. And, I understand, I came up through Bridgeport schools. I went to Reed School. I went to Barnum School. I graduated from Central. So I understand that, our heart is there with some of these buildings. But at the end of the day, we got to do what's right by children. And, it's time. We've definitely passed its useful life here. And, I go back to John Ramos and bringing Edison and Hall as 2 schools that we felt back then needed to be decommissioned. I've been in and out of the school district for about 30 years now. And what I could say is that we've always educated the board about, the percentage in terms of enrollment versus capacity and, some of these older buildings that really need to be decommissioned due to infrastructure. So this is the teacher's lounge. We put a lot of emphasis on the students, but, teachers and the dedication it takes to be a teacher in an urban school district are long hours, right? You want to provide comfortable areas for them to sort of unwind and do that paperwork, have their lunch in peace. But unfortunately, in these older buildings, it becomes very difficult. As you can see, there's patchwork that's been done over the years. These are tin ceilings. They're not easy to work with. When you talk about environmentals, asbestos and things like that, it becomes very costly to do any renovations. We've gotten to a point now where, we're just providing the bare minimum. That's not what we want to do, So as you can see, the building has a lot of issues. We try to do the best that we can. We've got a minimal staff. These are the kind of facilities that we come into, we repair things, but we're never able to get ahead. And that's one of the challenges that we have with these older facilities. We can spend just as much as we spend in other facilities, but you don't get to see it. Where, in our newer facilities, we're able to do things that are enhancing the program. Here, we're just limping along, trying to make sure that the children at least come into a safe building, but we really can't get over that hurdle that we'd love to get over and get them to the point where, there is equity across the board for everyone and every student. Those are the challenges. I think that I would love folks to take the time to educate themselves on, because, those challenges are the ones that really are the hurdle that students are dealing with every single day.